Good evening, VC. Dave here. Got quite a few records to show this evening, and got a few other items to throw into the mix. So we'll jump right in. First record I was able to pick up actually before it was released. My local shop had put it out on the shelf the night before, and was kind enough to let me walk with a copy. And that is John Coltrane, Both Directions at Once, the Lost Album. Of course, a lot of folks in the VC have picked this up recently and are enjoying this. I am no exception. Amazing that this has now come out 55 years after it was recorded in 1963. And man, I've actually seen and heard a few rumblings or negative comments about, I guess, the pressing or sound quality on this. So if John wanted this to come out, or Bob Thiel, or Rudy Van Gelder, they would have put it out in 1963. The fact that we get to enjoy this now is a privilege. And I know everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I wouldn't care if this came out on fucking Morse code. Okay? It wasn't made for you. It wasn't, I don't know. Yeah. Just enjoy the fact that we are now getting to hear this record. It is unbelievable. The opening track is one of my favorites, and I've got a whole section on this IKEA unit over here of John Coltrane records, an entire section. I'm getting close to having all of the 50 or so sessions that he recorded under his own name. And the opening and closing tracks on this record are as good as any. Classic lineup. McCoy Tyner on piano, Jimmy Garrison on bass, Elvin Jones on drums. And that's John Coltrane, Both Directions at Once, the Lost Album. And this is the standard version. My shop didn't have the deluxe version with all of the takes from that session. If you can find that, pick it up. I think it's actually double the price, but worth it none the same. So next couple of records I picked up at Tip Top locally. I knew they had gotten this one in, so I jumped down there to grab it. And man, somebody had a party on the cover, and that's all right. They even wrote "Don't Steal Me" on it, but it's in my house now. Bobby Hutcherson, Spiral. And this is one of the Blue Note classic releases. So originally recorded in 1965 was the song Jasper, and then the rest of the album, the other 5 tracks, in 1968. And the last track, you've got a lineup that includes Sam Rivers on tenor and bass clarinet, Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, Andrew Hill on piano, Richard Davis on bass, and Joe Chambers on drums. All the other tracks lineup includes Harold Land on tenor, Stanley Cowell on piano, Reggie Johnson on bass, and Joe Chambers on drums, to go with the wonderful vibes from Bobby Hutcherson. Really stoked about this one. It's extremely cheap. So I was digging through the racks there, and also picked this Blue Note classic release up. Jackie McLean, Consequence. This was from 1965, also recorded by RVG. And you've got Lee Morgan on trumpet, Harold Mayburn on piano, Herbie Lewis on bass, and Billy Higgins on drums. Worst cover art ever on these Blue Note Classics. Art you'd want to flush down a toilet. But the music that lies within is amazing. So the next item I picked up is a cassette single of all things. Every now and again, I've got to feed my boombox. I've had it since probably 1990, and it needs to eat. And so I got it some food. Low Dose from Philadelphia. A limited blue cassette. I believe to 25 copies. I got this on their Bandcamp. You've got 2 tracks, For Sure and Right On, from an upcoming full-length that'll be released later this year. And this group is basically Fight Amp reformed with a female vocalist. Badass stuff right here. Heavy, progressive. And I've got the full Fight Amp catalog here on vinyl. This was their first release, Hungry for Nothing. This was from '08, split release from Translation Lost Records and Brutal Panda. And then their second release was recorded just down the road in Columbia, South Carolina, Manners and Praise. This is on white vinyl. Also a dual release on those 2 labels. And then their next release is my favorite record of theirs, Birth Control. Came out in 2012 on Translation Loss. You've got a song on here, Fly Trap, that opens up this record that's just badass. The video is really cool. It's got animation of this artwork going on. And highly recommend checking these guys out. And their new project, Low Dose. And I'll leave a link below to the video for this, the song Fly Trap on this. This is a gatefold as well. And then their last release, they put out on a few different colors, and I got the most limited, which was the pink vinyl. Their album Constantly Off. Great album here as well, on Brutal Panda and Knife Hits. This one is from, can't remember the year. But after they put that record out, I think that was from 2014, they put out No Trace with Hide Your Teeth, 7-inch. Yeah, this is in 2015. On clear vinyl, came with a cool Fight Amp sticker as well. And yeah, stoked to have gotten that, as I don't think they made too many of those. And so the next item that arrived in the mail from our neighboring state here of Tennessee is this CD from the VC's own Roger Coleman. Roger Coleman and Sam Bird, The Mathematics of War. And man, is this something else. Really, really intense offering here. Love the drums from Sam Bird. Man, just killing it on this record. Really, really intense stuff. The first track is 45 minutes plus, just coming at you. And Roger Coleman is throwing the kitchen sink around piano, synthesizers, guitar, gadgets, loops, and effects. Highly recommend getting onto Roger's Bandcamp and checking this out. He may still have copies available, I'm not sure. But I believe it is limited. And of course, James Buttery in the VC down in New Zealand did the layout for this. Wonderful packaging on this. It's kind of like a gatefold record even. Really cool. Awesome artwork too. So check that out when you get a chance. So the next records that came are some on the B Core label out of Barcelona, Spain. My absolute favorite label. And we've got a distributor stick figure down in Atlanta that has a lot of the B Corps stuff on his Discogs, and it saves me about 20 bucks on shipping to get these from him. So happy to do so. And so thanks, Gavin, if you're watching. First album, Quelo, and this is their new release from 2018, Regalo Doble, on the B Corps label. And this is a really, really great record. The lead singer, lead guitarist, Jose Guerrero, is also in the band Betunizer. This is more straightforward, more punk. And I was lucky enough to see these guys open for No More Lies at the Apollo in Barcelona, Spain in 2014. Killer band live, just absolutely killer. A lot of intensity. Check these guys out. I'll leave a link below as well on this. I posted this on the Facebook group with a link too if you want to check it out there. Next record is Diola, self-titled release on B Corps from 2017. One of the best releases of last year, easily. Was finally able to get a copy of this. Singing is in Catalan. Very diverse record. Hits on all of their influences from the B Corps label from over the years. They combine about 5 different band styles into their own. Amazing songwriting. The changes in the songs are unbelievable, intense, a lot of groove. Highly recommend this record. Can't recommend it enough. Check these guys out. This full album's on YouTube. Also in that package was a CD, Crossword, Rockstar for a Day from 2002 on B Corps. One that I've been trying to find for a while. This is Victor Garcia on drums when he was just a teenager. I mean, these were just kids. 4-song album, and vocalist very similar to Refused, and the sound is in that vein as well. So I was really stoked to grab that. And so the next record I've actually been spinning this evening, and is it's a grail, and really excited that I was able to find this. Probably a record I've been looking for the longest, and sometimes patience definitely pays off. This of course required a plane ticket from Japan, but was happy to put it on a plane, and that is Mal Waldron and Taramasa Hino, Reminiscence Suite on Victor from 1973. You've got 2 tracks here, Reminiscence Suite on side 1, Black Forest on side 2. This came with the original insert. Is missing the Obi strip, which on this record, most Obis, come on the side of the record. This Obi goes along the top. So if you're looking for one of these, complete, you'll find the Obi strip on the top. I'm not worried about it. This was 30 bucks. This record I've seen go for well over 100. You can probably get it for 50 in shit can condition. Got this here for 30. Record is mint. Cover's in fantastic shape. Gorgeous record. Taramasa Hino is one of my favorite trumpet players of all time. His tone and his style is just amazing. Mal Waldron is doing some unbelievable stuff on this record as well. Highly recommend checking this out. I believe it's on YouTube. If you can find a copy, don't hesitate. on picking this up. So the next record is one that I've shown recently. I've been spinning it quite a bit. Absolutely love it. It's a live performance, and it's from Sun Ra and his orchestra at Intermedia Arts, April 1991. It's a triple vinyl release on Modern Harmonic. This was a Record Store Day release a few years back. Highly recommend this. It's just gorgeous. So yeah. And that leads me to an item that is an absolute honor for me to own, and has become a part of my home here. And I believe a lot of you have seen this, certainly. And that is the coffee painting of Sun Ra from the vinyl community's own Diana from Germany. Of course, her channel, Digging in the Crate, I'm sure you're familiar with. If not, you definitely need to check out her channel. This is an amazing piece of art here. Honored to have it. It's absolutely amazing. I had always loved seeing it on her videos and in her posts. Some of her other coffee paintings are also amazing that she's done. And she's, I guess, had decided that it was time for some of them to move on to a new home. So I was happy to oblige. And her channel is something else. Her and her husband do a lot of traveling, and they dig for records while they're traveling, so you get to see different shops and a variety of different styles of music from all over Europe and Britain, and man, she shows an amazing variety of music, and anything from psych rock from the US and the UK, to electronic music, to Brazilian, to jazz of all forms, and quite a lot of very interesting jazz, some that I would never have known about or come across otherwise. So definitely check out her channel. And so yeah, I'm gonna head back to spinning this Mel Waldron Teramaso Hino record again. Hope everybody's doing well. Sorry about my rant at the beginning, but it was necessary. Peace.